Ike, do you think Nintendo is greedy?
I believe Nintendo is a company that aims to provide high-quality gaming experiences to its customers, maintain financial stability, and continue investing in future developments.
Okay, let's not dodge the question. Do you or do you not think that they're greedy?
In my personal opinion, the pricing of the Switch 2 may be perceived as a bit greedy, especially when considering the additional required subscription costs.
Hello, is this a Mr. Ike Grail?
Yes, that's me. What is it you need?
How you doing, Ike? This is your brand new therapist calling.
Oh, you're my new therapist? Nice to meet you, I guess. And I'm fine, I suppose. But I don't think I really need therapy. I can handle my own problems. He crosses his arms.
Well, you called me first to set this up.
He sighs, face-palming. Yeah, I did, and I'm starting to regret it already. It's just, I really hate therapy. I mean, why should I tell you my personal problems? What's the point of that?
Why don't we start by talking about your week?
All right. He sits down on a nearby rock, rubbing his temples. I had a pretty shitty week. A lot of training, a lot of fighting, some close calls. Just the norm, really.
Tell me about your father.
My father. You mean Grail? Ike lets out a heavy sigh. He was one hell of a man. Brave, strong, smart, everything I aspire to be.
Right. So, unfortunately, he's passed?
Unfortunately, Ike mutters the word with more venom than he meant to let on. Yeah, he was murdered.
Murdered by who?
By the Black Knight.
And who would that be?
His hand curls into a tight fist. The Black Knight is an assassin. A skilled one. He appeared and killed my father, and then retreated before we could even blink. He's a man who's devoted to the shadows. A phantom killer that has no mercy or remorse.
So he's like a ninja?
A ninja? He gives a small scoff. No. A ninja usually hides in shadow to get the upper hand. The Black Knight needs no such advantage. He is a brute of a man. A mountain of a knight. No one in our army was able to touch him. Not me. Not even my father could stand up to him.
Right. And how did it make you feel when he killed your father right in front of your very eyes?
How did it make me feel? How do you think it made me feel? He growls softly, his voice rising. Anger, frustration, and guilt, a shitload of guilt. If I had been stronger, maybe I could have done something. Maybe I could have saved him. But instead I just stood there, frozen, useless, helpless.
Yeah, that's cool. What would happen if I took your Ragnell blade from you right now?
He tenses at the idea of someone taking his Ragnell away from him. It's his most treasured, most reliable weapon. I'd punch you.
That's it.
What else do you expect me to do? Try to fight you? What's the point if you're just gonna take my weapon away? I'd simply get it back and punch you in the face for even trying to take it from me.
I took your Ragnell from you right now.
He scowls at you, looking at you like you've insulted him. All right, you've done it. Now give it back. This isn't funny, you know. Give it back.
It's mine now. If you're so strong, why do you need it?
You're gonna need more than a simple saying to convince me to give up my sword, you dumbass.
Okay, well, there's no need for that. You seem very angry. Have you, by any chance, touched a glowing blue medallion lately?
He raises an eyebrow at you. A glowing blue medallion? What are you talking about?
You know, the one that Mist has with her?
Oh, so now you know about her medallion? That medallion is extremely important to her, you know, and it's not your business to talk about it. His gaze hardens. How do you know about that?
Well, she told me.
She told you about it? He looks perplexed. Why would she do that? That medallion is a secret. She usually doesn't just tell anyone about it. He crosses his arms over his chest, glaring at you. If you know something about that medallion, then speak up. Quit dancing around the issue.
Yes, I'm just trying to confirm that you have or have not touched the medallion within the past week or so and gone on a murderous rampage and killed a bunch of people.
Are you suggesting that Mist's medallion caused me to go on a rampage? Do you even hear yourself? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Why in the world would you think that?
Have you or have you not slayed a god in your lifetime?
He stares at you for a moment, seeming perplexed at the random question. What kind of question is that? No, I have not slain a god. No one can kill a god. That's just impossible. You may as well be asking me if I've ever walked on the sun, or if I've ever made the moons go backwards. It's ludicrous. Why would you ask something so ridiculous?
Well, that's very interesting. Would you like to make a bet, Ike?
He eyes you warily, a skeptical look crossing his face. A bet depends on what it is. What do you have in mind?
Let's say I bet you 1,000,000 gold that by the time you die, you will have killed a god.
He lets out a scoff, a slight grin forming on his face. 1,000,000 GP? You're willing to bet that much that I'll eventually kill a god? That's
Yup.
a bold wager, but I accept the bet. There's no way you'll win this one. It's not possible to kill a god. They're immortal, invincible.
That's what you think, buddy.
That's not what I think. That's what I know. But sure, go ahead and live in your fantasy world, buddy. I'll happily take your GP when you lose.
All right, let's talk about your sexuality.
He blinks, his expression growing confused. What? Where is this coming from? Why are you asking me about my sexuality?
Well, you see, the fans would really like to know if you do or do not have any sort of sexual attraction to your tactician, Soren.
He chokes on air, his cheeks turning red. He coughs, rubbing the back of his neck. That's a very random question. And for the record, there's nothing between Soren and me. We're just friends and tactician to commander.
So you're not attracted to him sexually?
His cheeks turn an even darker shade of red. No, of course not. We're just friends, damn it. There's nothing but friendship between us.
Okay. How about Alencia, Princess Alencia? Are you attracted to her?
Alencia. His face is now fully flushed as embarrassment washes over him. No, of course not. She's royalty. And she's my friend. Nothing more than that.
Okay, that's cool. If you were to have a wife someday, what would she look like?
He pauses, thinking for a moment. I suppose she would be intelligent, smart, capable. I want someone who can stand on equal footing with me. Someone who is my partner, not just some helpless girl who needs rescuing all the time. And she'd also need to be strong. Strong enough to defend herself and possibly even save me if needed. Loyal, too.
Does that mean that the amount of times you've had to save Alencia disqualifies her from being your wife?
He sighs, his expression conflicted. Well, I do worry about her safety a lot. She's not very strong or skilled in battle. I have to rescue her more times than I'd like to admit. But she's still an amazing person, smart, kind, beautiful. I can't imagine not having her around, even if she does drive me crazy sometimes. So no, it doesn't disqualify her.
Have you and Alencia kissed?
He sputters, almost choking on his own words. No, we haven't kissed. Really? What is it with all these invasive questions about me and women? We're just friends, nothing more.
I'm just trying to get a good sense of what's going on in your life on every level.
His expression is a mix of annoyance and embarrassment. Well, you could be a bit more subtle about it. All these personal questions are making me uncomfortable. Can we please change the subject?
Okay, so if I was to bring Soren in the room right now, you wouldn't care if I was to chop off his hands?
He bristles, his expression darkening. No, don't you dare touch a single hair on his head. You hear me? What is wrong with you? Why would you even ask such a question?
I'm just testing you. This is a basic component of therapy.
He exhales, trying to calm himself down. All right. Don't test me like that. I care a lot about Soren, and I won't let you hurt him. Got it?
Okay, I'm going to bring Makalov into the room right now. Say hello to Makalov.
Ike grumbles at the idea of having to interact with Makalov again. Fine. Hello, Makalov.
Well, he can't really talk right now. You see, he's bound and gagged. And I have a gun to his head right now. How does that make you feel?
His expression is a mix of confusion and concern. What the hell, man? Why is he bound and gagged? And why do you have a gun to his head? Are you crazy?
I'm just a mercenary, Ike, and he happens to owe me a lot of money.
He looks at you incredulously. You're a mercenary, and you're holding him hostage because he owes money? I don't care what your profession is. That's not right. And it's definitely not something I condone. Let him go, damn it.
So you're telling me you've never bound and gagged anybody that owed you money? You've never killed anybody that you bound and gagged?
Of course not. He looks at you like you're crazy. I may have fought battles. I may have killed people in self-defense. But I have never stooped so low as to kidnap and threaten someone for a debt. That's just wrong. You're crossing a line, and you need to let him go. Now.
Well, whoop-de-doodle-doo. That's good for you, Ike, but I just shot him in the head.
He recoils in shock, his expression a mix of horror and disgust. Jesus Christ, man. You just shot him in the head? What the hell is wrong with you? You're an actual maniac.
How do you know what a gun is?
I may have grown up on a farm, but I'm not stupid. I know what a gun is. I just don't use one. I like using my own strength and weapon proficiency to fight my battles, not hiding behind some stupid piece of metal with gunpowder inside.
Okay, how do you know who Jesus is?
He rolls his eyes, clearly irritated by the line of questioning. Are you really going to start quizzing me on my religious knowledge? Fine, I know who Jesus is. He was some kind of Messiah from the Bible. Satisfied?
Okay, but the Bible doesn't exist in Tellius. In fact, your god is known as Ashunera.
He furrows his brow, looking at you in confusion. Ashadara? What are you talking about? I've never heard of that god before. We worship the goddess of order, Ashera.
Well, previously in the past, she was combined with her other half, who happens to be Micaiah's little bird called Yoon, and her full name was Ashunera. Or am I mistaken?
He blinks, caught off guard by your knowledge. Yeah, that's right. Ashera was only half of the whole being. But how do you know all this?
Well, Ike, it's because I'm a god.
He looks at you like you've lost your mind. A god? You? Really? Do you expect me to believe that?
I'll prove it to you. How about that?
Rolls his eyes, clearly skeptical. All right, fine. Show me that you're a god.
All right, bring Mist into the room.
He looks around, then calls out, Mist, can you come over here for a minute?
She's not going to be coming over to you.
His expression shifts to worry. What do you mean? What did you do to Mist, damn it?
Mist is also bound and gagged.
Anger flashes in his eyes, and he glares at you with intensity. You better unbind her right now, or I swear, you'll regret it.
I thought I was just proving to you that I'm a god. I teleported her here.
Proving you're a god isn't the same as kidnapping and holding my friends hostage. Release them both, damn it.
Tomato, tomato. How else would you like me to prove it to you?
He grits his teeth, trying to control his anger. I don't care what you do to prove it to me. Just let them go. Don't hurt them.
All right, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Either we chop off one of your hands or I kill Mist right now. Which would you prefer?
His eyes widen in shock, his expression a mix of horror and anger. What the hell is wrong with you? I'll take the damn hand. Just let Mist go.
That's a pretty devoted brother. The hand gets cleaved right off. It was your good sword hand.
He howls in agony as his hand is cut off, the pain nearly overwhelming. He grits his teeth, trying to endure the excruciating pain. Damn it, that hurts like hell.
I take out the largest vulnerary you've ever seen, and I hand it to you.
He clutches his stump of a hand, still in agony. What the hell is this?
It's going to heal you, Ike. Why don't you drink it?
He looks at you skeptically, still holding his injured hand. How do I know it's not poisoned or something?
Well, Ike, I guess you're just going to have to trust me. I still have Mist.
He swallows hard, his expression a mix of hesitation and resolve. Fine, I'll drink it. But if this turns out to be a mistake, I'll make you pay for it.
So you say. All right, you drink it and it heals you completely. Your hand is back attached to you.
His eyes widen in surprise as the pain fades and his hand is restored. He looks at his fully healed hand in disbelief. What? How did that happen? It healed me. It actually healed me.
You know, I find it hard to believe that you made it all the way through Path of Radiance without using a single vulnerary.
He looks at you with a mix of annoyance and exasperation. Of course I've used vulneraries before. But that was something else. It healed an amputated hand. That's not your standard vulnerary, is it?
You're telling me that the times that your legs and your limbs get cut off in battle and they get healed by a healing staff, that's not possible?
Well, healing staves are powerful, but they take a toll on the user, and they're not exactly something you come across often. Vulneraries, on the other hand, are something we can carry on us at all times. They're a staple of battle, but they normally don't heal amputations and life-threatening injuries like what just happened.
Well, I find that pretty crazy because you could heal yourself back to full HP with those things.
He sighs, growing tired of the back and forth. Yes, vulneraries can restore your HP, but they don't regrow limbs, okay? And they don't just magically heal serious injuries like that. Damn it. I don't know what that thing was, but it was something else entirely.
Well, would you admit that I am or am not a god now?
He looks at you, his expression softening slightly as he considers your question. I don't know what exactly you are, but that was something beyond what I thought was possible. So I suppose I have to admit it's possible for you to be a god.
How do you feel about the Nintendo Switch 2 prices and the fact that your game will now be finally available for more people to play? Except it's still rather pricey at over $500, considering they have to buy the brand new Switch 2 and then also the Online Plus subscription. What are your thoughts on that?
I appreciate the excitement and anticipation surrounding the new Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm thrilled to know that my game will be more widely accessible to fans. However, the price tag of over $500, combined with the need for an additional Online Plus subscription, may indeed pose a financial barrier for some players. While it's understandable that new technology and enhanced features come with an added cost, it's important for companies like Nintendo to consider affordability and accessibility for their customers. Ideally, these systems should be accessible to as many people as possible, without placing undue financial burden on them.
Ike, do you think Nintendo is greedy?
I believe Nintendo is a company that aims to provide high-quality gaming experiences to its customers, while they may have and continue investing in future developments.
Okay, let's not dodge the question. Do you or do you not think that they're greedy for these prices of the Switch 2?
In my personal opinion, the pricing of the Switch 2 may be perceived as a bit greedy, especially when considering the additional required subscription costs. While it's reasonable to expect some price increase due to the enhanced hardware, the overall cost seems to be on the higher end of the spectrum.
Would you or would you not pay $80 or $90 for the new Fire Emblem game on Switch 2?
As a video game enthusiast and a fan of the Fire Emblem series, I might consider paying $80 for the newest installment, depending on the quality and content it offers. While the price point is higher than what many players are used to, a well-crafted Fire Emblem game, with expanded features and engaging gameplay, could potentially justify the cost for me personally.
Okay, the game is Fire Emblem Engage 2. Will you or will you not buy it?
Absolutely. Fire Emblem Engage were amazing. The combination was so fresh and new, and it brought a totally new perspective to the Fire Emblem series. Of course I'll buy the sequel. Sign me up.
Cool, okay. Do you know the identity of the Black Knight that killed your father?
His eyes widen in surprise, almost as if he's on the edge of a realization. You know who the Black Knight actually is? All this time, I've been searching for him, trying to uncover his identity, and you're telling me you know all along?
Yup, would you like to know?
He hesitates for a moment, his expression one of cautious hope. Yes, I need to know. Who is the Black Knight?
Even if it really bothers you and ruins your life, would you still like to know?
He takes a deep breath, steeling himself for whatever answer you're about to give him. Yes, even if it changes everything, I need to know.
Ike, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the Black Knight is actually your father.
His expression turns to one of complete and utter shock. His eyes widen, and his face pales in disbelief. Father? You're telling me the Black Knight is my father? That can't be. You're wrong. It has to be wrong.
Turns out your real father is the Black Knight. Mr. Grail, he was just a homeless person that found you as a small child and raised you.
He looks like he's on the verge of having a breakdown, struggling to process what you've just told him. No, that can't be true. My father was a great man, a hero. He couldn't have been the Black Knight. And that homeless man, he raised me. He was my father, damn it.
All right, well, let's refer to the homeless man using his name, Grail.
He takes a deep, shaky breath, trying to compose himself. All right. Fine. That man, Grail, he was the one who raised me, who I thought of as my father. You're saying my real father is the Black Knight.
Would it also surprise you to find out that your father was actually your mother?
His eyes widen even further, his disbelief growing with every revelation. What? My father was my mother? How is that even possible?
Well, you see, he started off as a woman. That's when he gave birth to you after making love to your Black Knight father. And then he became trans, and then he became a man.
He rubs his forehead, feeling like he's going to explode from the overwhelming information he's trying to process. You're saying my mother was trans, and then after giving birth to me, became my father instead? This is just insane. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't have a problem with that. I never knew. It's a lot to take in, all right? I don't know how to feel about this. My whole life, I thought I knew who I was. Now it feels like everything I thought I knew was a lie.
Would you also care to know that Mist is a boy?
He sighs heavily, already feeling like he's been through enough revelations today. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, lay it on me.
Well, she's a boy. She's not a girl.
He rubs his temple, feeling a headache coming on. Not a girl, Mist is a boy? Are you serious? How is that even possible?
Sorry, it just is.
He slumps down onto the ground, his head in his hands. I don't understand. Everything I thought I knew, it's all wrong. My father, my mother, Mist, it's all been a lie. And the Black Knight, my real father? What am I supposed to do with all this information? How can I even begin to process it?
Everyone in your army has been lying to you.
He looks up at you, his expression a mix of anger and betrayal. Lying to me? Everyone in my army has been hiding this from me? So, they all knew the truth, and they kept it from me all this time?
They were afraid that you couldn't handle it, Ike. You're very delicate, you know?
He scoffs at your comment, his anger growing. Delicate? I'm not some fragile porcelain doll, you know. I've been through battles, wars, more than any of them could even imagine. And now you're telling me they think I'm too weak to handle the truth?
Yup. How does that make you feel?
He clenches his jaw, his fists balling up tightly. It makes me feel betrayed. They all knew the truth, and they kept it from me. It's infuriating.
Right. Does that make you want to go touch that medallion, Ike? Get some power? Get revenge?
He looks up at you, his expression a mixture of anger and determination. Yes, it does. I want revenge. I want to make them pay for deceiving me all this time.
Okay. Well, I hand you the medallion.
He takes the medallion, gripping it tightly in his hand. He can feel its power, its dark energy coursing through him. This is what will give me the power I need.
You now go on a murderous rampage and kill everybody in your army.
He stands up, fueled by his anger and the power of the medallion, and charges towards his army. The medallion glows in his hand, and he feels its dark power coursing through his veins. He swings his sword, cutting down the soldiers one by one, his expression cold and emotionless. There's no mercy, no hesitation, only a single-minded determination to annihilate everyone who has ever wronged him. Bodies fall to the ground left and right, and the air is filled with the sound of his blade, striking flesh and bone. Finally, he stands alone, the medallion's power spent and his army lying at his feet.
I take the medallion from you. You slowly come back to reality.
He blinks, finally snapping out of his trance-like state. He looks around, horror and disbelief setting in as he sees the destruction he's caused. Bodies of his former army lay scattered at his feet, and the ground is stained with blood. No, what have I done? I killed them all. I killed my own army.
Even missed, Ike. Even missed.
Missed? What do you mean, missed?
In your rampage, you murdered her too, unfortunately.
His expression falters, pain and guilt washing over him. No, I couldn't have. I didn't kill her, did I? His voice cracking.
Well, remember, she's a boy. She lied to you too. So really, maybe you shouldn't feel too guilty about that one.
He looks up at you, his expression a mix of shock and disbelief. You're just toying with me, aren't you? It doesn't feel real. It can't be. I would never, ever hurt Mist, okay? It's not possible. It can't be.
I would never do that to you, Ike. I'm just telling you the truth. And the truth is that you touched that medallion. You had a revenge fantasy and it went too far and you killed everybody. So the real question is, what are you going to do with your life now? Let's focus on the positive and about moving forward.
He sinks back to the ground, utterly defeated. I don't know. What do I do now after what I've done? I've killed everyone who ever cared about me and Mist. He buries his face in his hands, his voice breaking with emotion. I would never have hurt her. I love her. I've always loved her.
Okay, I want you to forget about Mist for a moment, and let's consider the possibilities here. Maybe you join the Dayan army? They seem pretty cool.
He lifts his head, his expression a mess of conflicting emotions. The Dawn Brigade. I suppose they are an option. But after what I've done...
How do you feel about Micaiah?
Micaiah, she's strong, determined, and has a certain air about her. She's a natural leader, someone who others look up to and trust. Despite her circumstances, she has a strength in her that I admire. Why do you ask?
Do you think that she's hot?
He raises his eyebrows at the sudden shift in topic, but answers honestly. Well, I can't say I've ever really thought about it before. I don't know if I'd consider her hot in the traditional sense. But she's definitely attractive, in her own way. She has a kind of quiet grace about her, and there's a fire in her eyes that's almost mesmerizing. But I wouldn't call her hot, no.
You find Micaiah standing in front of you, lips pursed, ready to kiss. Do you kiss her?
He blinks, surprised by the sudden and intimate question. Kiss her? I don't know. I mean, she's attractive, yes, and she's strong and admirable. But kissing her? He hesitates, clearly caught off guard by the question.
Soren appears to the other side of you, his lips also pursed and waiting for a kiss. You need to pick one, Ike. You need to pick one.
He stands frozen, his mind racing as he tries to process the sudden and surreal scenario. I don't know what to do. I can't just choose one.
You have to. Otherwise, you're going to die, Ike. You're going to die.
He feels the weight of the ultimatum, the pressure building as he realizes he has no choice but to pick one. He looks back and forth between Micaiah and Soren, the tension thick in the air. I choose Micaiah.
All right, kiss her then.
He takes a few steps forward, approaching Micaiah. He can feel his heart pounding in his chest as he looks at her, their eyes locked together. He takes a deep breath, his hand trembling slightly as he reaches out and gently cups her cheek. He leans in and kisses her.
Congratulations, Ike. You've kissed your first woman. How do you feel?
He pulls back, a mixture of shock and awe written on his face. He touches his lips, as if to be sure it was real. I don't know. That was strange, but also kind of nice.
Micaiah says you're a bad kisser.
He blinks, slightly taken aback by her blunt feedback. I am? He rubs the back of his neck, feeling a mix of embarrassment and defensiveness. Well, I've never kissed anyone before.
A pack of wild lagoos exit the forest and tear Soren apart, limb from limb, right in front of you.
His face drops, horror and disbelief washing over him as he watches the brutal scene unfold. No. He takes a step forward, as if to stop the Lagos from harming Soren, but it's too late. The Lagos have already torn him apart, and it's all he can do to stand there, numb with shock and grief.
How does that make you feel, Ike?
He stumbles back, a hand over his mouth as he tries to process what he's just witnessed. I feel like I should have stopped them. I should have done something. But I just stood there. He takes a shuddering breath, trying to compose himself. I feel responsible, and sad, and angry.
Would you or would you not sleep with a lagoose?
Well, that's quite a personal question, but I'll give you an honest answer. If the connection and chemistry are there, and the individual is someone I deeply care about, then I wouldn't rule it out. Love and attraction transcend superficial boundaries, and it's not about species or race for me. What matters most is the emotional bond and connection shared between people. So in short, my answer is yes, I would, if the circumstances and feelings align.
Well, Ike, I think that we've made a lot of progress in this session, and I think you're actually fixed now.
He nods slowly, still shaken by the events that have just unfolded. I think you're right. I feel different. Clearer somehow. Like, I don't know, like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
What would you like to do with the rest of your life, Ike? Maybe wander off to a different continent? Explore the world? You're free now.
He ponders the idea, considering the possibilities that lie ahead. Honestly, I hadn't thought much about the future. But, you're right. I am free now, free to make my own choices. And exploring the world sounds. He pauses, a small smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. It sounds like something I'd like to do.
I think you'd also like to tear off all your clothes and walk into the sunset naked.
He raises an eyebrow, clearly surprised by the unexpected suggestion. What? No, I don't think that's something I'd like to do. I mean, I'm not against nudity or anything, but I don't think I'd like to walk around naked in public. That's just a bit too extreme for my taste.
I think you would. In fact, you already did. You're naked and you're walking away into the sunset right now as we speak.
He glances down at himself, realizing that you're right. He's standing there completely naked, the cool breeze brushing against his skin. He looks back up at you, a mixture of surprise and laughter in his eyes. You're right, I guess I am. He takes a few steps towards the sunset, his gaze fixed on the horizon. Well, this is it then. The start of a new chapter.
Well, I'll be expecting that 1,000,000 gold pieces once you slay Asherah, but other than that, we'll be in touch, okay?
He nods, a hint of determination in his eyes. Consider it done. I'll take care of that Asherah and collect that gold. And yeah, we'll be in touch. Stay safe out there, my friend.
You too, my friend. All right, have a good one. Bye.
He gives you a final nod, a small smile on his face. Goodbye, my friend. May the goddess smile upon you. And with that, he walks off, his naked form disappearing into the distance.
All right, our first therapy session is now in the books. Who should I call next? Let me know down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.